3, 2, 1, resolved. Tell me something interesting about an industry you've worked in that not many people know about.
All right. Well, when I was working in sales, you have a 77% chance of getting punched above working in any other job. No, it's a complete lie. But for me, it was 100% because I actually was punched, not by a customer, but by a coworker.
What were you selling?
Yeah.
I was selling cars.
Why? Okay.
Did you steal his deal?
No, I didn't. But he thought I was, and that's why he punched me.
Wow. What kind of money? Can you talk about the money? Like the difference in the coin?
Yeah.
Like what?
As in what it was over?
Yeah.
Like what it was worth that it was worth punching?
Probably about $400 if I'm being generous.
That's like 800 soft serves. So we're talking about big stuff here.
Hey, we're talking sales, so that's a Friday night.
That's what we do with our money afterwards.
Yeah.
No, I was working for a company that owned multiple dealerships.
Okay.
I did my training with him, so I knew who he was. I was friends with him at the time. I was in co-worker friends, and I'd worked with him for about 3 months before being basically shipped off to this other dealership to work at. One day we had a client come through looking at a car in my yard and also looking at a car in his yard. Now keep in mind,
Turf wars.
we work for the same company.
Oh, yeah.
We work for the same company.
It's not a war.
That's
Blue on blue.
But commission-based anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Commission-based, so yeah, we do have a prerogative to sell our cars and we can sell each other's cars as well. So I walk into my manager. This customer has a deal with me on the books and also has a deal with this other salesperson. She hasn't picked which car she's going to go with yet. He then told me, okay, we'll drive her over to the other dealership and try and sell her the car in your name. Obviously,
Your boss stitched you up for it.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, obviously, me knowing who this other salesman was, I'm like, well, I'm not really comfortable with that. And he's like, well, I'm your manager,
Oh.
so do it anyway.
Dominated, yep.
So I did the smart thing, the rational thing, is I walked outside and I called him immediately. I said, hey, mate, I just want to let you know, this is what my manager is
You're
asking
going to
me
be
to do.
shortchanged this week.
No, but I told him, I was like, I don't want to do this. I understand that my manager's told me not to do this, but I want to give you the opportunity to sell it to her anyway. So I'm going to take the customer, I'm going to drive her to your dealership, and then I'm just going to hand her over to you. I'm going to get a snack, and then when you're done, I'll drive her back, and whoever's car she buys, she buys.
Wow. That's really...
The most rational...
Noble.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't hear that. All he heard was, I'm going to drive over to your dealership, and then all he saw was red after that. He didn't listen to a word he
Stop
said.
listening, glazed over.
Yelling profanities. I still said it. He was yelling, screaming at me, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. I've been here longer than you. I know better than you. And I'm like... And then hung up on me. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to get in the car and just...
Wait, man.
Please.
Short
I
drive.
was like, oh, I'm going to drive over anyway. Time to go get in his face. So I get over to the dealership. He's already got the car in the car park, pulled it off the lot ready, which is what I expected him to do. I get out of the car and I go to introduce him to the person. He then walks over, stands in front of me with his back to me, between me and the customer, introduces himself, and then turns to me and goes, can I please see you in the manager's office? So I then get walked up to the manager of this other yard that I used to work at.
Wow.
And then he proceeds to just scream at me in front of the old manager and yell at me and abuse me.
Same company.
Same company, same profits.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
Yeah, properly unhinged. So I just took it on the chin, didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Went and sat at another person's desk that I was friends with, chatted to him for a bit. I was called by the front desk saying to be informed that this customer was ready to be driven back. Not by him. He didn't come and see me at all. And then she ended up not buying either of our cars because she clearly read there was tension there.
Yeah.
Opened up to me about it in the car on the way back. Ooh. And I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Like, I'm so unprofessional. Like, please don't feel obliged. Like, make your decision, please, like, according to you. Anyway, she didn't buy either of our cars. She went and bought it from somewhere else. Because why would you after seeing... that level of like...
People fight against each other.
I know, right?
Red flag.
Red flag. Yeah. So 3 weeks pass. Nothing else has come of this. I haven't been back to that dealership before. I then have a client arrive at my dealership who is looking at a car in their yard. Not affiliated to them. Nothing to do with it. I'm the first person to talk to them in our company. So I drive them over to the other dealership, which I am allowed to do. It's something we do very often. I show them the car. as I'm pulling the car out of the lot to take it for a drive with them, the same salesman storms over, stands in front of the car, proceeds to scream at me again in front of these new customers that he's not affiliated with whatsoever. Say things like, I'm not welcome here, like I am not allowed to sell these cars, and then proceeds to punch me.
Wow.
What?
I didn't do anything, or at least I didn't do anything to antagonize this. I didn't arc up to him at all. I didn't say anything.
In front of the people.
In front of the customers. They were sitting in the car. This happened about 2 meters off the front of the car.
Did you go down?
No.
No, ricocheted.
No, let me paint you a picture, all right? I'm 17 years old.
Oh, whoa.
I weigh 70 kilos max.
Yeah.
Completely skin and bone. I got nothing to me. He is, in my eyes, 6'3". He's built like a rhinoceros. And he just, I don't know what happened. I think I started to explain myself and he just like looks aside and then just punches me in the chest, just square in the chest. So I then took a couple steps back and I was in shock. I didn't have anything to say. I just like put my hands up.
Were you winded?
Yeah.
It took your breath away.
Took my breath away. He put his hand over my spine and then pulled it back out through the chest. That's what it felt like.
Sounds like he touched your heart.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm there like this, hands up. I look to my right. The customers are looking at me and looking at him from outside the windscreen. We're all speechless. And then he just walks off. And I'm like, what just happened?
Oh my God.
Another manager briskly walks down, goes, hey, I've just witnessed all of that. Did you want to like file a report? And I'm like, I gotta go for a test drive. I'll do it when I get back. And I like get
So dedicated to the sale.
Wow.
I was just in shock. I was 17.
I need that commission now.
I wasn't even legal age.
Pay my medical bills.
I assert him, yeah.
So I get in the car and my customers were like, what just happened? I'm like, I'll let you know when I find out. I have no idea. So I go for the drive, sold the car. Fantastic.
Nice.
Brilliant.
Got back to my other dealership. I didn't see him again. I got back to my other dealership. And by the time I got back to where I originally was working, the owner of the entire franchise, like all 7 dealerships we owned, was sitting at my desk waiting for me, was there to like basically see if I was okay, let me know that I have all right to press charges and that it's all on record and it's even gone on video.
You're a minor.
I'm a minor at this point. Like,
Yeah,
if I
wow.
wanted to kick up a stink about that, like that company was in for an absolute storm of hurt. But
Media got hold of that.
yeah, pretty much. And I basically said, no, he punches like a girl, like while I was trying to like put my ribs back in place.
It's too bad you didn't have a PR manager then.
Yeah,
Takes a breath every 4 seconds.
pretty much. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, it's still good. It's fine. He punched like a woman. No, at that point I was fine. I was like an hour later. And yeah, then he was like, well, I just want to let you know, like he's been dismissed and terminated immediately.
Great.
He's not welcome back on premises. But also, his home is on the way through this dealership, and he knows that this is why he's been terminated. So maybe just go home for the rest of the day because he might swing by here on the way to his house, and he's already clearly shown that he's not stable right now. So then I got dismissed for the rest of the day. Sold a car, went home early.
Went home?
Yeah.
You're so positive. Yeah. You skipped the part where you got punched in the chest and had to leave for your own safety. Sold a car and went home early.
Cha-ching.
Things are pretty good.
There's no way not. It's a positive thing. It's a positive thing.
Okay.
Minus, the punching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
fine. I'm used to acts of
Minus
violence.
my damage to my posture.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, that's the end of the story.
That's wild. I feel like I could pick your brain about selling cars. Like, you must have some wild customers.
The job was as easy as the customers allowed it to be.
Yeah.
So sometimes...
That's the title of your book.
Yeah.
The job's as easy as the customers allowed it to be.
Yeah, I worked at a lot of different dealerships. I worked for some brand new luxury brands. I'd sold some used cars. I sold some like intermediate new cars as well. So
What's harder to sell?
once again, it depends on the customer.
You'd have a different demographic for each place you work at.
Correct.
Different customer clientele.
I would have thought you'd have some entitled rich.
Yep.
Yeah, I found...
Or it's their first time buying a rich car.
when I was at a luxury brand, I found probably like every 2 out of 4 customers, keeping in mind, I was very young when I worked at these dealerships
So
as
every
well.
1 out of 2. Half your customers.
Did you just throw some maths in there?
Yep.
Are you feeling all right? This isn't like you.
Did you go to a private school?
You best believe it.
That's gone a long way.
Yep.
Anyway, half my customers would be
2 out of 4 for those playing at home.
4 out of 8.
Oh my god, you can just keep going, can't you?
Well, maybe if you listen to the rest of my story, it'll
8
make sense
out
as to
of
why.
16?
No, listen to my fractions and it'll make sense.
Go ahead.
2 out of 4 customers were like arrogant-ish, but not rude. Just you could tell that they were looking down their nose on me. 1 out of 4 customers were an absolute breeze, lovely to deal with, you know, treated me like an equal, which was awesome at such a young age. And then 1 out of other 4 customers,
There was a reason.
Yep.
Full pie.
were just, didn't even want to borrow me. They'd walk in, I'd get like a snub pretty much. And then they go talk to somebody else and they'd be like, well, no, that's one of our salesmen. You can talk to him. And I'd be there like, hi, I'm here to sell your car. I want your money. Please let me take it.
As a customer, I'm the one that gets anxious straight away when I see a salesman come over because I think it's going to be like a magician's trick where I'm going to be tricked into buying a car. Like 3, 2, 1, you bought a car.
They've said hi. My wallet's
So
gone.
like, all right, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Hey, man, I was going, I'm sorry. Shut up and take my money.
I come home all embarrassed with the car. I wasn't even. I don't want to talk about it. They tricked me. What a salesman. This is why I don't do it.
I'm wearing a Honda cap. I bought a jacket. I'm on a motorbike. I don't even have a license.
I'm in a club.
I signed up for something where they just come and wash it for me.
And I have another appointment next week.
And you have to get one too.
Speaking of which, we have to remortgage the house. But no, yes and no to the answer to that question. The intermediate new cars was definitely the most relaxed because with the used cars, you get a lot of people coming in just looking for a bargain. They treat you quite terribly. And to be fair, the stereotype on used car salesmen, accurate.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
Luckily, I kind of got to dodge a fair bit of that because I was at a young age where I wasn't judged so quickly for being just like that, like generic, like 40, 50-year-old used car salesman that's been doing it for 30-odd years.
Without getting yourself into trouble, yes or no, shady stuff happens in the used car industry,
Oi.
business-wise.
I can't comment.
There we go. We'll take that. 60 minutes if you're watching.
He pleads the
Go.
fifth.
Go nuts.
They would have, best way to put this, there's a lot of red tape with certain things you can do with asset movement. They do their best to circumvent the long process.
Wow. Yep. Okay. Diplomatic answer.
Great.
Yeah, and that's all I have to say on the matter.
That's all I have to say on the matter.
So 2 out of 4 are good. All right.
Yeah, right. Okay, so head on down to used cars.
So, well, speaking, I guess that's a lot of money to be dodgy with, but let's bring it down a level in terms of workplaces and dodginess.
Okay.
I used to work at a restaurant, right? We're going to jump into
Hospitality.
dodgy hospitality,
Okay.
which I feel is way dodgier than any car dealership, any salesman out there. Hospitality is where the dodgy stuff happens because people get taken advantage of.
We worked at the same hospitality
Yeah.
restaurant.
Okay.
That is now closed.
How old were you at the time?
We were 17.
16?
16, 17.
Turning 17.
Okay,
yeah.
so like first
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
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 It was actually my second job.
Well, hang
My
on.
second
I just
job.
want to.
I actually worked 2 jobs.
I got sacked from that IGA before.
So you were 16.
Yeah.
You worked at a dodgy hospitality food joint that you were taken advantage of, and a year later, you're punched in the chest at a car yard.
No, I know you're looking for a common denominator.
Where did you grow up?
I'll put it this way, not yet.
Carry on.
So, let's talk about, I think this is a great platform just to get a lot of things off my chest.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
You look built up.
Okay. This place, right? Let's start with the rostering. Simple. How do you know when to show up to work? You get a roster. Okay? By law, you are supposed to get a start time and a finish time. Not at this place. You get a start time. And your finish time is when it stops being busy.
To be advised.
When they've had enough of you.
Yep.
Was there a minimum?
No, you get a start time. Essentially, like in this workplace, we had a few 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And then there was, then the older people that were their early 20s who were like our full-time workers. And then...
Yeah, like 20, 22, 23. Nothing
Nah.
fantastic either.
No. And so anyway, they get all the school kids essentially to start at the same time. So generally, let's use a weekend as an example. They get us all to come in 12 o'clock, lunchtime, rush, right? And so we would come in and we'd sit at the table out the front of the restaurant. And depending on the day, if it was busy, the manager would go, oh, yep, 2 of you jump on. Rest of you stay there. It'd get to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Lunchtime rush is over. And only 2 people were needed. So they'd go, oh, yeah, you know what? I don't think it's going to be that busy tonight. Rest of you go home. Yep. So
and not paid?
Not paid.
Oh.
You wouldn't even be clocked on. You wouldn't get any money, right?
And the damaging part about this and the naivety that we had at this point was we all got along so well.
yeah.
We all loved chatting to each other. So we'd sit at
Yeah.
this table and just socialize for hours. They'd bring us
Yeah.
like every now and then I think we get like a basket of chips,
Yeah.
maybe a drink or two.
Yeah.
Like
But
I feel like
Bribes.
yeah, pretty much.
Usually, though, we'd still have to pay for it.
Yeah, every now and then one of us would be like,
yeah.
oh, I'll get a bag, I'll get a basket of chips.
Yeah.
'cause- yeah.
And you just go buy food,
So
sit
you
there,
went
eat
to a
it.
job where you didn't get paid and you gave them money.
Well, we were young.
When you put it that way,
Yes.
you sound a little bit dumb.
Well, we didn't
Yeah,
know.
how much of this is their fault?
We didn't
And
know
not-
better.
We did, yeah, this is the thing. We literally didn't know. But like we just had fun. That's why we didn't complain
It was a
about it.
fantastic time.
Because we would just sit there and we're like, this is great. All get to rock up. We all have to sit at this table. None of us can leave. We just have to sit here and have fun.
To be fair, we met there.
We did.
Now we're married.
Now we're married. That's a win.
Okay, yeah.
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 We didn't invite him to our
Sweet.
wedding, but you know.
So yeah, anyway, so there's the first problem, right? You don't get paid. The next thing, pays in general. Pays were consistently wrong.
All the time, yeah.
All the time. Like hundreds of dollars you would be underpaid. They weren't paying you for what you were working anyway. So even if you get a couple hours work on a Saturday, good luck
Couple
getting
hours work.
good
have to chase it
luck.
up, yeah.
You'd be chasing that.
How did you clock on and off?
It was a digital clock on, clock off. So, and here's the kicker, right? Is when you would clock off, it'd give you the option to print a receipt, like a little timesheet of your, how many hours you've clocked, you've been on for. And that was your only piece that you would have to prove that, yes, I worked this. Even though it's digital, it should, go somewhere. It should go to payroll. They should
Stressing
pay
me
it.
out.
Yeah. And so, yeah, a lot of people didn't print their receipts, but I learnt over time to start tracking my hours because I'd be getting paychecks coming in. I'd be like, I worked hours last weekend. I worked Sunday rates.
It's always bad when you can look at something and go, yeah, this math immediately doesn't add
Yeah.
up. The worst part about the receipts as well is it was those carbon printed receipts.
Yep.
So they would fade
Oh,
after like a
yeah.
week as well.
Yeah, they were bad.
Oh my goodness. Is this
Yeah.
common, do you think?
In
Do
hospitality,
you think that
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. I
Did
think.
you get like super?
Oh!
maybe. I don't know.
No. So get this right. I got a phone call only like a year. Oh, no, not a phone call.
I never got a phone call.
No. It wasn't a phone call. No, one of the girls that used to work there, she sent me a message only like a year or two ago. And we're talking, we worked, by the way, we worked at this place like 8 years ago. Right?
was a long time ago, yeah.
7, 8
It
years
no
ago.
longer exists.
No, it's been shut down, I assume. I hope so.
We don't know why, but it might have something to do with the constant fraud.
Yeah. And
I
so-
would like to know.
Someone
Can we put a note? I
Yeah.
want to investigate
Yeah,
that.
actually, yeah.
Pencil.
Yep.
Penciled. Yeah, one of the girls who used to work there sent me a message. It was like, hey, by the way, just so you know, we were never paid super while we worked there. And it was only open for less than like 5 years.
Yeah, about 5
And do you
years.
reckon that the people that would been there the longest were like hushed under the table? Like they had legit working conditions?
A couple of the managers, it wouldn't surprise
No,
me.
they had a full turnover, like new chefs, new waiters. Everything was new. Remember, we would go back in there to eat because, look, okay, the food was pretty good.
Food was fantastic.
The food was good. I'll give them that. We'd go back to eat and we would be like, who are these people? And we come in and we tell them, like, we used to work here, by the way. we did that. You did your job.
Such a thing.
Yeah.
We sit there and
Who's
judge
the
them.
kitchen? Who's the kitchen?
Can I come back and have a chat?
That's wild. I don't have I worked at a job that had made the pay mistake where it was a small family business and they didn't pay anyone. And so they had to panic and pull $400 out of their personal accounts and just quickly give $400 to everyone while they fixed it up.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's so amateur. But no, I guess my contribution to this conversation is about stuff that you may not know about in an industry. 11 years of aviation. I can tell you that if you've flown, I don't know, I want to say 3 to 4 times a year. I don't have the exact stats. If you've flown 3 to 4 times a year, you've been on a plane with a prisoner in handcuffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Super common.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
Every day they
Wow.
go. Yeah. And if you know what you're looking for, they get marched through the airport in handcuffs. They put a jumper over their cuffs and plain clothed and escort them. And that's the quickest way to move them around the country.
I would have been busy looking at the planes.
Well, there was one day I remember he was, I reckon, kid in handcuffs.
Yeah.
I want to say 6 at a guess. 6 years old in handcuffs, sitting in the terminal with 2 like Goliath cops over him.
Wow.
And he'd just come in from like a regional town that was probably a 3.5 hour drive away, but that the airline flies there. And because I worked at the airport, I answered the cop and I was like, mate, what did he do to get? And they're like, he likes to start fires.
Oh.
Little
I was
firebug.
like, yeah. I was like, where is he from? He's like, oh, from Brisbane. I was like, how would he get up there? He's like, oh, he hitchhiked. I was like, 6 years old. What? 6 years old.
Wow.
How are these, like,
Wow.
yeah, world that you never knew existed?
No.
Wow, yeah. Devil in the face of innocence. Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, but yeah, again, range of age, but yeah, chances are you've been on a plane with a prisoner.
Oh, well, the more you know.
The more you know them.
Next time I get on a plane, I'm just going to hold the jumper on my hands. Yeah. And look really suspicious.
I'll hold you by the elbow.
Yeah.
It means you get priority boarding, so.
It does.
And
then
It's actually because you're the first one. They're the first ones on, and the last one's off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, I'm going to put my hands covered up in a jumper. I'm going to find somebody that is obviously getting escorted and be like, what are you
Mind
here
if I tag
for?
along?
Yeah. What are you here for, man? What did you do? I like to start fires.
Can you say and laugh at the same time? Because they'll believe you.
I will. I could get away with that.
Well,
Yeah, wow. A lot of people are like, wow. Didn't know. I mean, there's no threat. Let's put that straight away out there.
Yeah.
There is no threat. This is not that Passenger 67 movie from the 90s. There's no threat.
No.
But it is just an efficient way. Otherwise, they get their own private jet. What? Yes. There's a dedicated private jet, police
fly
jet,
them.
that flies around the country and takes the real bad ones, the ones that can't go.
The ones that don't want the plane to land.
Like the guy that
Yeah.
has currently been extradited from India for the murder in Cairns, he got a private jet because he's a high risk. Yeah.
So it's that easy.
Yeah.